Hi guys, today we're going to repair the side skirts on the 86. Some damage which was caused by just turning out of a parking a little too early and it caught on the curb. So initially my plan was to remove the rear wheel so I can get access to these two bolts because the screwdriver would be too long to fit in there, but then just realized I could just use a socket. So it makes my life much easier, no need to jack up. And yeah, remove that off. And the plan is to see what I can do with this as much as I can repair it, and then use some fiberglass to cover it over, sand it down and spray it. Okay, so now that the panel is cleaned up, you can have a proper look at it. So obviously the front is all fine. Down, you see damage is just limited to this area. So this has cracked or broken along this area here. If you look at it from the inside, you see all of the damage there. So I'm probably going to try to trim this a little, because even if I take off a piece from here, the fiberglass will fill it. It's not like body filler, so it's going to come all the way there and create a proper seal. So I want to get rid of any of these high edges, and I don't know if you can see there's a high edge there, so I'll probably trim a bit of that off and see how I can mold it into place. I'll quickly show you how this was mounted on. At the back we had these bolt type screws that are in there. Midway down we have these brackets with this push-in kind of clip that goes on there. Right, so there's 3 of those, and at the front, 4 of those, and then at the front we have these push-in clips that go on there. Okay, I'm hoping I have everything I need for the fiberglassing, which is the resin, hardener, the fiberglass mats, paintbrush to apply it, container to mix it, and this is just acetone to clean the area. So this is apparently, what was it, 10 drops to 100 grams I think it was. Where is it? No, sorry, 40 grams, 40 drops to 100 grams of resin. I think there's just a little bit of resin in here, so I'll probably just use all of it instead of putting it into the container there. Okay, so I've let it dry overnight, and this is what we're left with. It's not the prettiest right now, but after sanding and spraying it should get better. I'll only sand the outside bit of it. The inside I want to leave as much material there as possible, so it is as strong as possible. Okay, after sanding, actually looks quite decent. There is a slight hump here. That's the whole thing. The shape has changed, so I can't really do much about that. So I suppose next is mask up to paint. So I've masked it up, and I've scuffed down all of the black with some fine sandpaper just to create a key so the paint adheres. Got some plastic primer, which we're gonna hit on first. One thing that's left to do before I start spraying though is to wipe it down with acetone. So let me just grab some of that. So after the primer, it does feel a little rough, so I'm just going to use some sandpaper, sand it down a bit. You see this bit, there probably was some air under the fiberglass, and that's what caused this. But anyway, it's going to be on the underside, so I'm not going to redo it. This is the repaired end. If you're looking at it from the top, can't really notice any damage or any imperfections, but obviously if you flip it over, we can see the fiberglass. I didn't really bother about sanding that down too much because it's going to be under the car, and I wanted to leave as much of it on as possible to add as much strength as possible. The end product doesn't look too bad. It's quite straight. So the damage was down at this end. See, you don't really notice it anymore, although we know the underside does have some imperfections.